Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I want to thank my new colleague from San Francisco, not just for bringing this bill forward, but for the amount of work that he's put in trying to make people in this body understand the importance of this. Now, I'm a principal co-author of this bill, and I have been a co-author of several bills that have dealt with this subject over the last few years. So I'm somebody who already comes to the table with an opinion about this, but I know for a lot of you, it's been a struggle to understand why we should do something that seems, in some ways, to maybe feed into the problem we're trying to solve. Well, I want to tell you a little bit about people's evolving their feelings about this and their thoughts about this. I had a conversation about 3 weeks ago with one of the police chiefs in one of my cities. Now, this is a very conservative individual who's been in law enforcement for maybe 40, 50 years. He's an older gentleman. And there's a lot of things we do in California he doesn't like. He's very conservative, and he tells me all the time, you know, you guys did this, you did that, you know, and he's often on different sides of issues. And this bill came up, and this measure came up, and he looked at me and he said, you know, he said, I've kind of changed my mind about this one. He said, over the years, he said, I've come to realize that what we are doing has not worked and that it's time to try something different. He said, I can't tell you how many more parents I have had to go to in our community, in our suburban community, to tell them that their high school son or daughter has OD'd and is in the hospital or even worse. How many people he's found on the streets unresponsive because of overdoses, many of them accidental overdoses because of tainted drugs. He told me that he now understands that these are people, many of whom actually want to quit drugs, who need to be dealt with in a different way. That what's happening with these addictive drugs is not the same as somebody, for instance, who's robbing a bank. These are people in the throes of a medical condition, of addiction, and they need support and they need help. And that saving their lives is #1 priority because we care about public safety, everybody's public safety. Drug addicts' public safety, everybody's public safety. So saving their lives is important to him as a law enforcement officer, and this gives him the ability to help save lives. It also gives him the ability of getting people off the streets and into some kind of care, often to get the trust of medical professionals, of other people who can offer them addiction services, offer them other kinds of help to get them off the streets and maybe to get them into a path of wellness, to make sure that they themselves don't have other communicable diseases or other conditions that are going to impact them. Because again, for public safety, saving lives is paramount, everybody's lives. So I would say to you members, if your thinking at all can evolve on this issue, if you agree that what we're doing isn't working, that people are dying in higher and higher numbers, that we see more and more people in the throes of addiction, then maybe it's time to try something different. And here is something that is proven to work, proven in other places, to get people not only to save their lives immediately, but to get them medical care, to offer them substance abuse care, whatever kind of counseling they need. That's what we need. That's what my public expects. So I would implore you today to allow the cities that want to pilot this and try this to pilot it and try it. But to say no to anything that might save lives is really legislative malpractice as far as I'm concerned. With that, I would ask for an aye vote. Thank you.